Welcome back to Where the Ramp Ends. I'm Bryce,
And I'm Summer.
and today we have a dear friend of mine on the podcast, Kyle Pease of the Kyle Pease Foundation. Kyle, welcome to Where the Ramp Ends, brother.
Hey, bud. Good to see you, Summer. Good to see you as well. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. If you could briefly introduce you to our listeners, I would love that.
For sure. My name is Kyle Pease. I've been in a wheelchair my whole life with cerebral palsy. Um, but that doesn't stop me from pursuing everyday goals and achieving them. I'm a six-time Ironman finisher, including two World Championships in Kona, Hawaii in 2018 and 2024 with my older brother Brett. And together in 2011, we created the Kyle Pease Foundation with mission and to improve the lives of people with disabilities through sports and beyond. Today, we have helped over 800 families cross more than 4,000 finish lines. So um, it's really amazing the family that we have um, that we have been able to come in contact with through the organization, and I can't believe that we're celebrating 15 years of service.
Yes, that is wild to me, brother. And for me to be a small part of your guys' story and to be able to collaborate with you and Brent on multiple occasions. So my first question for you is what was it like growing up with Brent as your older brother? Because I've had conversations with you guys over the years about this, and I want our listeners to understand how incredible the bond between you and Brent is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I also have another brother, Evan, who is my twin brother. Um, and so the three of us were very close growing up, and Brett always had that big brother mentality, where he always looked out for me and made sure that I was okay, and included and whatever we did as a family. So Brett and I, we built a special bond from the very beginning, and here we are today, my guy. Here we are today, um, continuing to push beyond our limit and
Yes.
see what is truly possible out there.
Yes. Now you and Brent have, definitely been all over the country, doing some pretty wild, stuff. You guys have written a book. You guys, like you said, have been a six-time Ironman finisher and a two-time Ironman world champion. I myself are a two-time Ironman finisher, and I am very blessed to say that both times that I crossed the finish line as an Ironman, Brent and Kyle were both were there both times to see Ryan and I cross the finish line. So Kyle and I have been friends now. Oh goodness, I want to say we met in Boulder in 2019 when you guys were
Yeah,
promoting your book.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
We had a collaboration event for a racing radio station that just happened to be covering uh Brent and Kyle's book, and they had heard that Ryan and I were racing Ironman Boulder in 2019, and they came to the bookstore and said, "Hey, would you mind doing a collaboration event with Brent and Kyle Pease?" And I was like, yes, without even knowing the detail, I wanted to definitely meet Kyle because we had already been talking on Instagram and different things like that for a few months. So we had never actually met in person till then. And when I say that it was a divine moment of like instant chemistry, like Ryan and I and Brent and I with Kyle immediately became fast friends.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. We had a lot of the same interests, and I knew um, that you were gonna push your limits with lying, and that you would continue to show your possible, man, and look at how far that you have come, and I'm proud to know you, and get keep up the great work, buddy.
Thank you, brother. I am fortunate enough to have been wa Kyle and Brent, when it comes to the foundation, ladies and gentlemen, they are rock stars. Once a year, they have a foundation dinner for their big Kyle Pease race on Peachtree. Is it Peachtree Drive?
I think what you're talking about is, the public half marathon.
Yes, that one. Uh-huh.
That
Can
is,
can you ex can you explain y'all's involvement in that just a little bit, the magnitude of what you guys do every year?
for sure. Yeah, so the race that, Bryce is talking about is our largest event, and it really kinda kicked off the season for the foundation. The foundation does 65 events a year throughout the state of Georgia and other parts of the country as well. Uh, but that public race, uh, really kind of solidifies the start of the season for us. And it goes, it's a half marathon, and we have 65 plus athletes and their family and their volunteers that we call teammates. Um, so we have our own corral. And then, as Brighton mentioned, we have a dinner before and a big ballroom at a local hotel. And then we have speakers and different people talk about the foundation and what it does. And then we go to sleep and wake up at very early to get the day
Yes.
started. So it's one of my favorite events, and it's really cool to be a part of.
And I've been blessed beyond words to say that I have been, um, fortunate enough to be the keynote speaker at one of, Brent and Kyle's, banquets, and I've raced in that event twice now, and let me tell you, that to me, other than the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon and representing Team USA in the Ironman World Championship, being able to race with you twice is something that I will never forget.
Dead man.
Yeah,
Like
because
God.
being able to race with, Justin Dugan, shout out to Justin, we love you, buddy. We do. Um, and just how much energy you guys put into the dinner. I mean, 65 athletes and their families. I mean, guys, when they started in 2011, they had it in a restaurant and then they moved it to a huge ballroom. You know, the growth of inclusion that these guys have magnituded to is insane, insane. So, Kyle, when it came to training, what were some of the favorite training snacks and fluids that you would partake in to get your body mentally and physically prepared? I know that I had my favorites, but I'd like our listeners to learn how difficult it is to train your body for an Ironman.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I love Skittles, I love potato chip, um, barbecue, um, a lot of salt. Like I love salt when I'm on the TV. So water, Gatorade. I mean, and but um, I need help going to the restroom,
Same, brother.
so I don't really drink a whole lot of water during my everyday life. So to do an Ironman, it's a win-win. It benefits my health as well. But
Yes.
whatever I can get my hands on, that's what I'm gonna eat.
Right.
So I think you have to stay well hydrated, and you definitely have to stay well fueled to keep your energy going in the right direction.
And we've we've shared a few meals over the years, ladies and gentlemen, and I thought I could eat. This dude right here eats me under the table, and I'm not even fronting here. I mean, this guy can eat barbecue and pimento cheese like it's not even tomorrow. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how they I don't know how he can afford to eat how much this guy puts away after a race. I mean, it's ridiculous. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
so you guys have been racing for a long time, and I'm sure that there are moments that have encapsulated your time together. What are some of your favorite moments that you and Brent has shared as an Ironman world champion duo?
I think at the top of that list would definitely be Hawaii. As I mentioned, when we were talking before we hit record, Ironman, Hawaii gets such a special place to be in. It can remind you to be focused, to be present, and really focus on what's important. So Hawaii will be at the top of that. And then some of our other favorite races would be Ironman Wisconsin. That was our very first one in 2013. Um, so that will always be one of my favorites because um, it was our very first one. But uh, some of the local 5 and 10Ks are very special as well. Um, and of course, Publix. So those are some of my favorite
Yeah.
ones.
Yes, and you, my friend, when it talking about Publix, and speaking of the gala and the Publix, like you to I wish Brent was here to share this, but you are the mouthpiece of the Kyle Pease Foundation. You get everybody fired up. You are the reason everybody has a good time. You make sure that the experience for first time racers is the Super Bowl. And if you could tell little Kyle a message, what would that be?
That's a really good question. Um, if I could tell myself one thing, um, it would be this. It is I am right where I'm supposed to be. Um, I know um that that's even hard for me to believe, but uh I am right where I'm supposed to be. And the platform that I have built um is amazing and it's just something that I don't take for granted. I'm full of gratitude and, uh, some days are harder than others, but I wanna focus on, again, and I mentioned what I can do rather than what I can't
Yes.
do.
And I'm gonna touch on this because we've had conversations in our personal life about this. And can you talk about the highs and lows of cerebral palsy and why every year you take a sabbatical from social media to, you know, prioritize your own mental health?
Yeah, I think I I'm really glad that you asked that, buddy, 'cause I mental health is something that I'm battling, I struggle with, and I think it's okay to say that you're not okay.
Right,
Um, and I think that, um, too many times we get stuck in the hustle and the bustle of life and everything that comes with that. Uh, but I just like to, just focus on making my own mental health a priority and um and knowing that it's okay to take a break from things that take your time. Um and it's okay to turn your phone off or put it on do not disturb it and just take a deep breath and do a self inventory of what's
exactly.
going on with you. So I think those are those are really big areas that I focus on throughout my day.
So, what's the biggest struggle and the biggest life lesson that you learned being an adult navigating cerebral palsy?
Yeah, I think with cerebral palsy, I think you have to ask for help. And I think that you have to be okay to ask for help. That we all need help and sometimes that it's more we need more than the average person does. But um that it's okay to be vulnerable
Yes,
and to and to and to request help and receive the help because when somebody is helping you, you might be helping them as well.
right.
Um, so that's one area that is um very powerful to me.
Yeah, um, I have to say that the magnitude of our brotherhood, you know, I know I haven't raced in a long time, but what your brother and you said in Boulder after we crossed the finish line is, and I'm trying not to get emotional when I say this, is welcome to the club. You are now in you are now a legend of this sport because you did something that you were told you were never going to be able to do. And I'm telling you, brother, till the end of time, I am so thankful for you and Brent and your friendship. And you guys mean the absolute world to me.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It's I think at the end of the day, it's all about inclusion, and um, I hope you come back out there and race with us again at some point.
I
And
Yeah,
and
we'll have to
no,
talk
you know,
we'll have to talk to Ryan about getting us out of retirement one more time. Let's put the bird in his ear. How about that?
yeah, man, that would be great. Come on.
So we briefly touched on this earlier, but Summer and I are thinking about writing a children's book about how people with disability people with disabilities and able-bodied individuals can be friends and make friends. Can you give any advice to our listeners out there or parents of individuals with disabilities, any advice on how to navigate the world or how to navigate their dreams since you've accomplished almost everything that you've wanted to accomplish and more?
Yeah, man. I think that you owe it to yourself to try. So if somebody, if your son or daughter, um, sees somebody in a wheelchair and they don't know what to say, or they stare, but then 2 minutes later they have a question about that person, my advice will be to go up to them and
Amen,
talk
brother.
to them
Amen,
and,
brother.
and get to know them. And even if they're nonverbal, like that's okay too. Like get to know their heart and see what they pour to them and look into their eyes. So when you look into their eyes, you can see their soul. So, everybody matters, everybody has a purpose in this world.
So I want to talk about this because we talked about this several times, and I want to because we share the same viewpoint on this. Growing up, there was not individuals in wheelchairs that Kyle and I could look up to. We had to look up to professional athletes like Chipper Jones and Steve Nash and Michael Jordan. And yes, that's fine because Kyle and I are avid sports fans. But we didn't get to see in the media people with cerebral palsy or people with disabilities being triumphant, you know? So a lot of the reasons why Kyle and I did this was so we could give the disability community role models to look up to and say, you can achieve it if you believe it and have the right community behind you. What does that mean to you, Kyle, to have people look up to you as a role model?
I think it means the world to me, and it doesn't it doesn't dawn on me that people look at me as a role model because I may look at them as a role model. Some of um some of my closest friends, some of my caregivers are my role models. Brett is a role model, but you're a role model. Like everybody that has come into my life has served me in one way, whether it's a physical help or whether it's coaching going help me with the mental health that we talked about a couple minutes ago.
Yeah,
Um, so it, so it doesn't it doesn't it does there's never a moment that doesn't dawn on me. Well, I appreciate somebody, and
right.
I think that is what we need more of in this world.
A lot of what we talk about in this podcast is independence looks different for everybody. Can you
Yeah.
talk about what it's like to travel the Marta system in Atlanta all by yourself, which is uh a unbelievable bus transit system, ladies and gentlemen, in Georgia. I've ridden it several times. I mean, this dude goes everywhere by himself in his power wheelchair as far as his power wheelchair can take him, and he just puts around Atlanta everywhere. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, I'm around people all day, and I require so much assistance that Marta is the one place for me where I get to be alone for a couple minutes and then provide me with the independence and a sense of peace. And I know that sounds crazy because Marta moves a lot of people every day
Yeah,
throughout the city, but it provides me that sense of a peace that I need. So there are days that I ride, you know, to the airport and back so that I could just get a couple minutes to do that self inventory that I talked about a few minutes ago.
right. And can you talk about when you first wanted to ride the MARTA independently that Brent and several people in your family was like, I don't know about that. Like, I wanna go with him, and you're like, "I can do it." Like, I wanna take that dignity of risk and do it myself. Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think I started when I was like 17 years old. I started taking it because I wanted to feel the independence and be away from my parents and my brothers and wanted to like go to the mall with my friends. So I discovered Marta and I never turned back since. I've been riding for probably over 25 years now.
And you're kind of like a MARTA, celebrity. Like, they'll they'll see you and be like, "Oh, that's just Kyle, I saw him riding the MARTA today. He was heading
Yeah.
off to church or wherever," and Brent's like, "I don't even ask anymore. I just, he'll, just show up, and be like, 'What did you do today?' 'Oh, I did this, this, and that.'" And I think what a lot of people don't understand about living with cerebral palsy is they think that we don't wanna have our own social life. And Kyle and I are very, very social individuals. Like, we want to hang out and, well, be the life of the party, and I think that Oklahoma would benefit a lot from a MARTA system because we don't have anything like that here.
Well, but I'll get trying to follow your footsteps, my man. You're the one that had the bigger social life than I do. So um keep up the good work, bud.
Well, maybe you'll have to, come down to Oklahoma City one time and see how much trouble we can get into. Maybe Brent could be the designated driver, or maybe Summer could volunteer and be a designated driver and see how much trouble we could get into.
Let's go.
We 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 might have to put up some bail money. That would not be that wouldn't that be a
Oh
dear
no.
would
Oh no. Definitely.
right. But can you talk about some of the things that outside of racing that you enjoy? That makes Kyle, Kyle?
Yeah, for sure. I love hanging out with my friends. So I do a lot of that. And I love going to sporting games and watching sports. But I guess I love just being around people and building them up. So I work 3 jobs, about 80 hours a week between the Kyle Pease Foundation. We got a local supermarket here in Atlanta, and then I manage all my caregivers that help me out day in and day out. So there's not a lot of downtime for me, but when I do, I just love hanging out and building people up.
Can and we also talk a lot about caregivers on this podcast and how important they are and how much
Yeah.
they really mean to the individual with disabilities. Can you talk about what care caregivers mean to you? And you said something to me a few years ago that your caregivers are family to you. They're not like family to you, they are family to you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, my caregivers, they are truly the backbone of me. Um, they they make Kyle go. Um, from the moment that I wake up till I lay my head back down at night, they're always there to support me and help me. So my life is much better, and they give me the independence that I need because I do live on my own, and my caregivers support whatever it is um, to help me go. So I'm truly grateful for all of them, and there's a few of them. Um, I love all my caregivers, but I have a few that have been with me for between the two of them over 30 years now. And they are truly some of my best friends. So,
Those are the 2 you took
even
to Hawaii, correct?
yeah, so even when they're not working, we're talking, and that. So, um, yeah, they are more than caregivers. They are part of my life, and they will always be a part of who I am.
Can you talk about what it means to you to live independently? Because I know that that's such a taboo topic when talking about disability, living on your own. Like, a lot of people are like, can they do it? Can you talk about like what it means to you to live independently and have a place of your own?
Oh, it's truly one of the best things that ever happened to me. Um, I live downstairs, and my dad lives upstairs in the house. So if anything would have happened to me at night, my dad is always there. Um, but thankfully, he give me a lot of space and grace to live out my life as independently as it can be. Um, but he also comes down a lot to get talk, and I'm like, "Dad, like, go back to your house," like, or knock on the door or something. But when my dad is not there, the caregivers spend the night with me, and that. So um, it's really a blessing that I have this situation, and it's hard at the same time, but, you gotta pay the bill, you gotta go to the grocery store,
Absolutely.
um, so,
And
yeah.
can you talk about, because we've talked about this in our own personal lives, how much our moms are like our rocks of, everything that we do. Can you talk about, the relationship you have with your parents and how that shaped you as a person?
Oh, yeah, I think both my parents, have have really fostered that independent lifestyle for me. They really, they have really made a very strong effort to include me in, in every vacation, every activity that that they did. They wanted me to be a part of that, and my mom um and dad really showed me um how to live. Um,
Yes.
and I wouldn't be Kyle without my parents and without my brother. So
Right.
I'm much better for being in the family that I'm in.
Right. So,
Kyle, Kyle, if
Yeah.
you could change one thing about how society measures success, what would that be?
Um, um wow, I mean, I think that's a great question, Summer. I think that said that people make a success, um, they just measure it in different ways, and I, I I really think success starts when you wake up out of bed. um, as you get your day started. Um, because today is not promised to us.
Right.
So when we wake up, we have to put our best foot forward or our best wheel forward
Yep.
and focus on that. So I don't want to say that success is different for all of us. What I might find successful, Bryce might be defeated by it,
Right.
or vice versa. So um, I don't want to put a measurement or success for your listeners. I get what they get. You owe it to yourself to try every day, and if you try, then you'll be successful.
I like that. I like that.
What's the biggest lesson that you want um the next generation of the disability community and the little ones coming up? What's the biggest thing that you want them to know that Uncle Kyle wants them to know?
Again, just hold your head up high and know that you are making a difference in somebody's life. Whether you're a young child or whether you're adult or whether you have a disability, know that we all have a purpose in this life. And I think that when you when you see your purpose, um, then you have stopped living. I know that sounds mean, but like every day is a new day. Every day is an opportunity to learn from somebody or understand somebody. So we always need to continue to grow and evolve day by day and focus on everything that life has to offer.
So, Kyle, I have a question for you, and people have asked me this all of my life. So, I'm going to ask you this question. If you could do your life over again and not be diagnosed with cerebral palsy and live a complete, normal, able bodied life, but you have to give up all the things that you've done, would you do it?
Oh man, I get that question a lot, buddy. Um, no, I would. Well, let me answer it two ways. Yes, as you know, I would love to walk, a- and I would love to experience just a day of being able to do things that I can't currently do. But in the same breath, I would say that I am right where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
That I I know no other way. Like this is all I know. And I think that when you have that mindset that this is all you know, you have to show other people you're possible. And I think through my brother, through the foundation, through my personal life, that I show people what is possible.
You for sure
And if I don't do that, then I need to look at myself.
you for
Uh,
sure do that, brother. You
yeah, yeah. So that's why I try to focus on my darkest days and the hope and the perseverance to continue to go when my body says don't go.
well, you
Kyle, what's
know,
one word your brother would use to describe you?
Crazy.
yeah, I can attest to that. I've been in the room with him. Yes, I can agree. Yes.
So how is your brother you and your because you talked about growing up together, but how has racing together changed your relationship with your brother?
I think racing together had brought us even more closer He had shown me what it looked like to be a professional in my career. He had shown me how to become an athlete and how to be better prepared as an athlete. And overall, he has made me a better man. Uh, and I think that far exceeds any athletic achievement that we have done together.
Kyle, what was it like to cross the finish line that first time?
Um, at an Ironman, I get any race in particular.
Any race.
Um, I'll talk about the Ironman. I have never been able to walk, but when I hit that red carpet or whatever color the carpet is, uh, 'cause when you do it like Spike know that there's normally a red carpet for Ironman,
Yep.
but at different races it's a different color. But I get to feel free. I I feel like I'm able to walk. Like I feel the vibrations going throughout my body when you hit that
Yep.
carpet, and it's truly amazing.
Mhm.
It's a belief that nobody can truly understand. It's a it's a understanding of amazing belief that you did something that nobody expected you to do.
It's to, echo what Kyle is talking about because I've accomplished that twice as an Ironman finisher. It is such a euphoric, um,
Yep.
release. It's almost like the highest of high that you can ever, accomplish. Like, it literally I can't even describe it to it's almost like it is like an out of body experience because I know when I, um, crossed the finish line in Boulder and I was able to hug Ryan and hug our team and, have that medal placed around my neck and say, "Bryce Wooten, you are an Iron Man." Like, I don't cry on things very easily, but I I sobbed that day because and I'm gonna sob now thinking about it because for that small moment, Kyle and I were just as equal as the person standing next to us.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kyle, during those races, were there moments that you wanted to give up? And if so, what kept you going?
Oh yeah. There has been many moments that I wanted to stop. Um, but that's not in my DNA. My DNA in my mind telling me to keep moving, to keep press going and to focus on on our ability. Um, but when I get in those moments, that's what I really do meditation in my head and say my prayers and focus on the ability that because of our love for one another, me and Brett, because of our commitment to push forward no matter what the obstacle may be, um, that that we're a team and nothing can break us. So that's what I think about when I wanna quit.
And you guys have been through some difficult moments as a race team. Can you talk about in one word, can you if you could say something to Brent, you know, if you could tell him one message about, what he means to you, what would you say?
I love you.
Wow. You know,
I mean, we could drop the mic on that one.
pretty much, man. I'll go ahead and ask my favorite question of the podcast, and Summer knows that it's coming. So, my question to you, brother, is what do you want Kyle's legacy to be immortalized as when you're no longer here?
Oh, um, I want people to know that that hope, perseverance, and love will carry you a long way. So we all need to have a little bit of that in our heart. And whether you're on the race course or whether you're at home, we all need to have that peace of mind in us to get to love one another. But I truly want my legacy. I want my legacy to be that through the perseverance, through the hope, through every finish line, that there is possible. And you control your possible. And you may not hit it right away, but when you do, it's something that nobody can take away from you. So keep believing, keep dreaming, and keep pushing beyond your limits to see your full possible.
And that's why, Kyle goes all over the country and does these public speaking engagements right there, buddy. And I want to manifest that we eventually do a public speaking engagement together because we would tear the house down.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Man.
Kyle, just having sitting down and having this conversation with you today is just like um inspired me and just filled me with like I don't even know how to explain it. Just really it's energizing just to have a conversation with you and to hear you speak. Um
Thank you.
if any last thoughts you would want to share with our listeners?
Well, I mean, you can always g- get involved in the Kyle Pease Foundation by visiting our
There you
website,
go.
kylepeacefoundation.org, and that way um you can follow us on all of our social channels. You can donate if you would like to donate, and you can sign up to be a volunteer. Uh, and so yeah, you check us out and see what we have to offer.
If
Yeah,
you
and
want to,
anybody that's listening today, we will have all of those links in the description of this podcast, and we'll share that with our
if you also
listeners.
want to share the where the ramp ends with all the members of the Kyle Peace Foundation family, we would love to, you know, be a vessel for all those families and give them a lot of resources as well. We would love to be a part of their journey as well.
For sure, man. No, that sounds great. This has been a great conversation. I've had a lot of fun. So thank you for allowing me to share my story.
Absolutely, and we would love to have you on again because, I mean, like I said, when I told Summer that I wanted to have one of my brothers in crime, on the podcast, I was like, "You gotta meet Kyle," and she was like, "Well, since you're telling me I gotta meet Kyle, I have to meet Kyle." So I'm more than thrilled to see you, my brother, and, like, always, I love you, man, and keep being you, brother.
I will, man. Love you too. Summer, thank you again, and
You.
can't wait to hear the next episode.
Alright,
Thank you
for
so
Where the
much.
Rain Bends, I'm Bryce,
And I'm Summer.
and this is Where the Rain Bends and where your journey begins. Till next time, bye-bye.